everyone, and welcome back to Chanting. I'm Zayna.
And I'm Father Chris, but I can't find Billy. I had him with me and I just don't know where he went to.
Oh, look behind you. I think I found him over there.
Oh, there's Billy. Billy's being silly. Okay. Well, I guess he'll just hang out back there for today.
Well, today we are going to look at Tone 5.
Tone 5 is one of my favorites. And I feel like I say that about almost every tone, but this one I really mean it because Tone 5 is a lot of fun. And before we get into all the fun stuff, one thing about Tone 5 is we're getting into the plagal tones. And plagal means, it's a Greek word that means side. So it's like you take tone 1, turn it on its side, and you have plagal 1, which is tone 5. So the more traditional way of referring to tone 5 is calling it plagal 1, because tone 5 is related to 1, tone 6 is related to 2. So essentially, you have tone 1 and plagal 1, which we refer to as tone 5. Tone 2 and plagal 2, which we refer to as tone 6. 3 and 7 are another story, but tone 4 and then plagal 4, which we call tone 8. So for our purposes today, we're just going to refer to it as tone 5. But just so you guys know, you might often see it listed as plagal 1. So if you ever see plagal 1 written down, it means tone 5. Now, one thing about tone 5 is it's really lively. And one thing that we have to remember is there's really kind of two versions of tone 5. And to simplify it, there's kind of like a quick version and a slower version. And a good example of the two different ones is Christ is risen, because we often do it in both versions. So there's the quick version and the slow version. So the quick version for tone 5, Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs bestowing life. For the slow version, Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs bestowing life. Now, when we talk about the scale, right, because each tone is based off a different part of the scale, tone 5 is always based off of the K. And there's another major note with the Pa. So the quick version pretty much stays up with the K. K-zoni's okay. That would be the epikema. And that's where the E-son is. However, the slower version, which we'll get into later, the slower version is based off the K, but it has a lot more emphasis on the Pa. K, viga, vu, pa, K, pa. So that's kind of the difference as far as with the scale, but they are both based off of the K. But let's go ahead and start with the quick version. So again, the epikema would be K, zoni's okay, da 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 da. So Zayna, would you like to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, let's get started with Evocatoria, which all of you should know really, really well. So yeah, let's get started. Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. The company of the angels was amazed when they beheld thee numbered among the dead. Yet thyself, O Savior, destroy the power of death, and with thee raising up Adam and releasing all men from hell.
Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. So the hymn is pretty long, so we're not going to go through the whole thing, but that is tone 5 and the quick version of tone 5, like we know so well. And little fun fact, that hymn specifically is all about the resurrection. If you look at the words, it's all about the resurrection. So we sing it every Sunday at Orthros. There's two exceptions. There's 2 days in the whole year where we sing the Evangeliaria not on a Sunday. And those two exceptions are, one, on Lazarus Saturday. We do it because Lazarus Saturday is treated like the resurrection because he rose from the dead. And the other one, excuse me, is Holy Friday night at the Lamentation service because It's the Orthros service for Saturday when we start to hear about the resurrection a little bit. And so those are the 2 days in the whole year that we do hear the Evangelitaria, not on a Sunday. So anyways, that's just a little quick fun fact. But anyways, so that's the quick tone 5. And as I said before, the another one that we know so well in tone 5. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs bestowing life. And then, of course, Let Us Believers, which is the troparia of tone 5 for the resurrection. That one is in the quicker version of tone 5 as well. Now, it doesn't mean fast necessarily. It just, I refer to it as quick, meaning it's a little bit more upbeat than the other version. So, okay. Let us believers praise and worship the Word, co-eternal with the Father and the Spirit, born of the Virgin for our salvation. For he took pleasure in ascending the cross in the flesh, to suffer death and to raise the dead by his glorious resurrection. So that's the quicker version of tone 5. Now we're going to get into the slower version of tone 5, which again is still based off the K, but also has a lot of emphasis on the Pa. Da, 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 da. So, Zayna, can you think of something that we know really well in the slower version of tone 5?
Actually, yeah, I think I can. From the first thing that comes to mind for me is the slow Lord Have Mercies that we sang. They go something like this. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy.
Those are, of course, Bishop Thomas's favorite too, if you've ever noticed. He loves singing those. So thank you for singing those Lord Have Mercy so beautifully, Zayna. Another one that we just started doing last summer in tone 5, the slow tone 5, are those Lord Have Mercies that we do towards the end of Vespers and Orthros, when it's the Lord Have Mercies and the Grant Us, O Lords. We go back and forth with the priest or deacon. So, Ke digabupam, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, to thee, O Lord. Amen. So that's just an example of the slow Lord, or the slower tone 5 as well. And of course, as I mentioned before, Christ is risen. Christ is risen from the dead. That version is also in the slower version of tone 5. Now, Zayna and I would like to go ahead and sing Lord I've Cried, which is written in the slower version of 5, though it can be done in the quick version, but for our book's purposes that we have at camp, we do it in the slower version. And then when we go to the verses, we're going to switch, staying on K, we're going to switch into the quick version of tone 5. So, O Lord, I have cried out unto thee. Hear thou me, hear thou me, O Lord, I have cried out unto thee. Hear thou me. Give ear to the voice of my supplication when I cry out unto thee. Hear thou me, O
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as the incense and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Hear thou me, O Lord.
So as Zayna just demonstrated so beautifully, she ended on the K, and we're going to stay right there on the K. Oh Lord, K zonizo K. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth, and a door round about my lips.
Incline not my heart unto evil words to make excuses and sins.
With men that work iniquity, and I will not communicate with the choicest of them.
The just man shall correct me in mercy and reprove me, but let not the oil of the sinner anoint my head.
For my prayer also shall still be against the things which with they are well pleased. Their judges falling upon the rock have been swallowed up.
They shall hear my words, for they are sweet, as when the thickness of the earth is broken upon the ground. Their bones are scattered by the side of hell.
But to thee, O Lord, Lord, are mine eyes, in thee have I put my trust. Take not away my soul.
Keep me from the snare which they have laid for me, and for the traps of the workers of iniquity.
Let the wicked fall into their own nets, while I alone escape. So that's quick tone 5. And it's a little bit more lively. It really stays up in the upper part of the scale, as opposed to slower tone 5, which kind of shifts down into the pa or the re. But that's kind of a little overview of the two of tone 5 and how there's two different versions really. And a lot of things that you all already know in tone 5, and it's a lot of fun and a real fun one to be able to sing. So that kind of sums it up for tone 5. Next week, of course, we'll be back with tone 6 or plagal 2, if you prefer to call it that. So we'll be excited to be with you all. All right, Billy, say goodbye from back there. All right, thanks, everybody.